Welcome to Biz Wire. I'm Joseph Nordstrom in Beijing. Residential real estate makes up a huge portion of China's economy, and it's wobbling at best. In the first quarter of this year, sales volumes were down 3.8% and average prices fell 5.2% from the same quarter a year before. But the most worrying sign is that housing starts in April tumbled 25% on year. Beijing has been trying to temper prices for years, but now that it's actually happening, officials and economists are worrying about the effects on the rest of the economy. With residential construction accounting for over 10% of all economic output in China, leaders have good reason to be worried. The spillover effects are difficult to calculate because so many sectors are interwoven into the fabric of real estate. The banking system would be one of the first and the worst hit if what some are calling a bubble were to pop. Bloomberg News reports that analysts don't expect a wave of foreclosures, as the value of homes, even after a steep drop, would still be higher than most mortgage balances. They say non-performing loans would increase, but not enough to cause banks to fail, as they did in the U.S. just a few years ago. China has received a lot of attention for its so-called ghost cities, where blocks upon blocks of newly built skyscrapers stand empty, but others say that these white elephants distract from a very real need for more housing. Every year, millions of people move to cities and demand rises for quality housing. In Quartz, Gwyn Guilford writes how many economists see falling demand as a result of China's changing demographics. Guilford cited research firm J.L. Warren Capital, which says that because of the one-child policy, there are too few young couples starting a family that would need a new home. Other areas of China's economy are emerging to pick up the slack. Consumer spending keeps ticking upwards, as is government spending on rail and subway lines, which could break $100 billion this year. Also, after being distorted to disguise currency movements, export figures seem to be moving upwards, getting a not-so-subtle push from a weakened renminbi. So is China at a tipping point? People have made headlines calling for China's economy to crash for well over a decade, and someday the bears will be right. But the smart money now is on the Chinese people and their government to find a way to muddle through to keep GDP and living standards moving higher. You're watching Biz Wire on the Blue Ocean Network, China's first and only privately owned English-language broadcast media. Our full episode can be seen on our website, BONTV/biz-wire. Let's turn now to Neil Jones for a quick look at a few stories that are buzzing through the markets.